Hey everyone, this is Malwave, here with another Transformers video review. And this week, well, this is probably one of the first of many videos, as I need to owe a few, is the video review for Classics Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. Now obviously, I can't do one of them without having both of them in the same shot, as they are the same mold. And it would be the same situation for figures like Smokescreen, still Sunstreaker and Sideswipe, or any of the Prowl molds, but I digress. Bumblebee, and I recently got Bumblebee here with my Cybertron Exillion, which will be in a review later, and Cliffjumper I've actually had since the classic line. I've heard he's rare, I don't know. Anyway, vehicle mode wise, excuse me, vehicle mode wise, since I will use Bumblebee here as an example. Vehicle mode wise, they're a nice car. They are obviously a nice little station wagon, obviously more than likely an inspiration for the animated Bumblebee. You see Bumblebee has these nice white stripes going along the front and has a completely solid white back with a nice racing stripe along the back here, and does have the rub symbol, which doesn't want to work for me. Cliffjumper here has this sort of flaked red paint detail with the silver, with the rub symbol up there, and they both come with a jet ski. Now you'll see that what this turns into later. Bumblebee rolls quite well, and likes to fall off the table, and even comes with a nice little trailer hitch for the trailer. Given the vehicle mode, they're simple, but they're quite effective, and as such, I'm going to give the vehicle modes a 22 out of 25. For the main reason that they do their job. They don't frill it up. They don't try to make it more than what they are. They don't try to make it more than meets the eye. Anyways, now let's move on to the robot mode. And here are the robot modes for Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. Now, you can tell which one I've had longer, as Cliffjumper here is trying to do the splits on me. Now I'm tempted to put a Hawaiian skirt around Cliffjumper. Anyways, the robot modes are very nice. They're very small. They're very squatty. They're a nice update from their minibot selves. And considering that for both of them, this is the first incarnation. Sorry about my hand. This is the first incarnation that they've had since G1, since the G1 minibots. It is a very nice update. Articulation, not very much, but these are little figures, and I will use Bumblebee here again because he's a lot tighter. His head is on a ball joint, as you can tell from the back here. Their shoulders are on ball joints, as are their elbows. Their hands don't rotate. Their thighs are on ball joints, and their knee, and you can bend it at the knee. The foot can also move forward if you really desire it. Not very much, as well. These guys aren't really. I think the reason that they don't have very much articulation is because they rely on the name. Bumblebee relied on his name, and Cliffjumper is just a repaint of Bumblebee. So, for articulation, I will give an 18, because while there isn't a lot, there is still some very notable articulation. I mean, the fact that the majority of the articulation is ball joints does say a lot. It could be, again, using Cybertron Exillion as an example. These are his legs. That's a lot more. Classic Bumblebee definitely has a lot more articulation. But again, we will see about him in a later episode. Gimmick-wise, this is where they fall short. Remember these jet skis that I told you about? Well, with the jet ski, you simply separate it, and probably best to look at the back when you're doing this. Separate it and then pull so that these two pieces, these two little triangle pieces are straight. Rotate that out, put your finger here and rotate this entire assembly so this lump is facing down. That's always paramount. For some reason they don't work if it's the other way around. And you rotate these to the front and you have a jetpack. Just tabs on to Bumblebee, and now Bumblebee can fly. You're not helping my case, jetpack. Bumblebee can now fly. I hate to sound like a hater, but it doesn't really, it's not very good in terms of complete gimmick-wise. I mean, if Bumblebee maybe had another gimmick, it would be nice. But, again, it's better than what they had for the minibots. Still, I'm going to give his gimmick about a 15. It really lacks in gimmick-wise because a jetpack, ooh. And the worst part is you can lose these trailers. Like, I'm surprised I managed to hang on to Cliffjumpers, because I got this guy back in the day, like 3 years ago. Now, granted, I'm 20, and that was back when I was 17, but, you know, but, yeah. Let's just say that I wasn't very clean. My room wasn't very clean at the time, and half my shit went missing in it. Anyways, I probably should cut that out anyway. Anyways, fun factor-wise, both of them get a 24. There is a few reasons for this. While the gimmick is weak for my terms, for a kid, a jetpack is awesome. I mean, how can you not say a jetpack isn't awesome? The fact is, you can adjust these trailers so if you want him to be flying completely full speed backward, you just have to turn it and whoosh. That was in slow motion, by the way. He was just like, neep. He was already across the screen by the time I was done talking. Otherwise, Bumblebee is a very articulate figure. He's moderately articulate. He's nice and small. He is nice and small for a deluxe class. Comparing him in size to I don't have any deluxe class figures on hand. Huh. Well, he's small enough that it's good for a child. It's not too big, it's not too bulky. I mean, comparing him to like Masterpiece Prime, I would say this is a good toy. Cliffjumper is also a good toy, but if you buy him, it's probably better to buy him as I've seen him go for like 30 bucks online at some points, and he was part of the third wave, like the second or third waves. And yeah, I believe he was released with Astro Train. But either way, if you can find the Legacy of Bumblebee set that has a repaint of Bumblebee in it, highly recommend that you give this toy to a kid, because there's nothing that could hurt the kid on there. I mean, granted, even if you took the jetpack away, you still have a nice, awesome little figure. I mean, not to mention, I personally love this design for Bumblebee versus the other versions. This is how Bumblebee should have looked. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed my little video review. Should have a few more coming in the following days, as even though I have exams, I also happen to have gotten myself all 4 of the Universe 2-pack Target exclusive figures in Springer, Ratbat, Dirge, and Roadbuster. And there will be a nice 4-parter coming up of those. So, until next time, this is Malwave with Classics Cliffjumper and Bumblebee signing off. See ya, folks.